What's up? It's B4Flex, and in this video I'm going to talk about how to stay motivated to work out. Not just how to get the motivation, but how to keep the motivation.
B4Flex.
Okay, so motivation is something that everybody struggles with. Personally, I struggle with motivation from time to time. Not every workout is good. So I just thought it would be something I could help you guys out with. This way you can stick on your goals, you can stick on the journey to your goals, and just continue to progress, right? Especially when it comes to fitness. This is focusing on fitness, but of course you can apply this to other areas in life as well.
Of course, I do understand that discipline is what you really need. Like, discipline is the real driving factor, but what drives the discipline is motivation.
Number one, you need to have honest goals, okay? So when you're training, you need to make sure you're training for you and not for nobody else. For example, if you are overweight and you want to burn fat, is this because other people want you to burn fat, or is this because you want to burn fat because of your health? Really look at it, right? Because if it's for other people, even though you probably should try to burn some fat for health reasons, you won't stay motivated because it's not for you, it's for other people. Same thing with if you want to build muscle. Are you trying to build muscle because you want to impress a girl, or because you're tired of being called scrawny? Or are you trying to build muscle because you genuinely have an obsession with muscle? You genuinely love muscle and you want a lot of muscle in your frame, right? If it's because of your love of muscle, then you'll probably be able to stay motivated because you're doing it for you. But if it's for other people, it'll be harder to stay motivated. So make sure that you have honest goals. Make sure that your goals are your goals and nobody else's goals.
Number two is to make sure that you have good recovery, okay? You need to make sure that you are spacing your workouts correctly. If you are trying to burn fat and you're doing cardio, you do not need to do cardio every single day, okay? Do cardio 150 minutes a week and do it maybe 3 times a week. That's all you need. Of course, you can do more, but you need to be smart about the spacing. If you're doing it back to back, it's going to get draining on your central nervous system and you're not going to want to work out.
For example, there's an animal, the cheetah, right? The fastest animal in the world, right? Land animal. And whenever it hunts, even if it's hungry, it doesn't hunt every day. It hunts every 3 to 4 days, right? It doesn't hunt every day. Sometimes every other day, but majority of the time it's 3 days in between hunting, right? And this is important because your central nervous system and of course your hormones, right? If you are overtraining or just training too much for the time being, you will struggle to be motivated.
Same thing with when it comes to building muscle. You can't be hitting chest every single day just because you want to grow your chest. You need to hit it, give it at least a day in between so that it can recover, depending on how you program it. You can do it every day if you program it correctly, but I don't recommend it. Same with arms. If you're trying to grow your arms, make sure you're still spacing it around, because if you're not giving enough space, it becomes very taxing on your central nervous system. And also, no one wants to work out when it feels painful. People want to work out when, obviously, feeling sore to some degree is not too bad, but people want to work out when they're feeling strong, not when they're feeling, like out of it, right? So of course, if you have good recovery, you'll be feeling strong for every single workout, which helps you to stay motivated. A second part to this recovery is sleep. You need to make sure that you're sleeping enough. None of this 5 hours of sleep, none of this 6 hours of sleep. Make sure that you're sleeping a minimum of 7 hours every single day, every single night, right? 7 hours. Personally, I believe 8 hours should be a minimum, but some people stand by 7. I believe 8 hours or up, you can see 9 hours, even 10, and it can benefit you, okay? So make sure that you're recovering well.
Now, the third thing is realistic diet. You need to have a realistic diet. Of course, if you need to burn fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit, but you do not need to be in a large calorie deficit. And the reason I say this is, burning fat is actually a way that we tap into our survival mode, okay? So we have a survival mode. We store fat, right, to survive, right? So that if you, basically the same way, if you have a lot of money, you might save some money, right? In case of, for example, a pandemic, right? Where you don't have enough money coming in, so you use your savings to get by on. It's the same thing when it comes to fat. We store fat in a way to give ourselves energy when we don't have food. That's how we do it. Think about camels, like they have the hump on their back. It's storing fat for energy in the future. So when you burn fat, you're in survival mode, right? And that's all good and well if you're only burning a little bit each day. However, if you're in a huge calorie deficit where you'll be burning a whole bunch of fat and other stuff as well, like muscle, but we're not going to get into that, your body is in deep survival mode, right? That's how I like to call it, survival mode. and you're not going to prioritize your hormones. Your hormones, one of them being testosterone. Testosterone gives us energy, right? It's what gives us that motivation, right? That alongside with obviously chemicals like dopamine. So if you drop your testosterone, you're not going to have motivation. Yeah, again, this means you need to have a realistic diet. So don't be cutting your calories drastically. Stay around about maintenance. If you want to lose fat, lose it slowly. That will help you to stay on the course of losing fat.
The fourth thing is music. You need to make sure you have good music, not just gym music, not just music that you searched up on Spotify's, top workout playlist. Make sure it's music for you, music that you vibe with. And don't just have one workout playlist, have multiple. I have different people that I listen to each time when it comes to working out, because different people give me a different vibe.
And also don't listen to your workout music when you're not working out. I know that sounds like what? But basically put it this way. If you take pre-workout before you work out, would you take pre-workout when you're going to sleep? No. Or would you take pre-workout when you're just going to chill? No, right? Because it doesn't have as much of an effect. So if you listen to the same music that you listen to when you work out, when you're not working out, when you're just chilling, it might not have the same effect when you're working out. This is just on a mental note. So make sure you pick good music and make sure you only listen to that music when you're working out. And last but not least, you need to have a look in the mirror. Now, I'm not talking about a real look in the mirror, although that can be useful as well. But a figurative look in the mirror.
All these other steps or tips have been pulling, right? They've been pulling you towards your goals. Now you need to push yourself away from where you're at now. You need to seriously look in the mirror. If you are, for example, extremely overweight and it's potentially dangerous to your health, you need to really look at yourself and think, do I want to damage my quality of life? Do I want to have bad health and so forth, right? Do I want to look this way in case that's what you're focused on? And really look in the mirror and really think, is this really where I want to be? If you are weak and scrawny, right, and you want to build muscle, look in the mirror and look at yourself and think, do I want to be stuck like this for the rest of my life? Do I want to keep being weak? Or do I want to be able to be strong so I can protect myself and so forth? That's what you need to do.
I did that. When I stopped working out, I had a good look in the mirror and I looked at myself and I thought, do I want to stay like this? No. I trained way too hard when I was younger to end up like this. And I had a real look in the mirror and I was like, nah, I'm not trying to be in the position I'm in now. So it motivated me to get better. And that's what I did. So those are the 5 things you need to stay motivated to work out, to get motivated and to stay motivated. Please utilize these for your training, stay motivated, as I said, and you'll smash your goals. Anyway, Speed for Flex, and I'm out.